Hello again. Tom Fontana here for the second edition of On the Rocks, where a friend of mine and I discuss the finest bourbons and upcoming projects on Tom Fontana Presents and whatever else we feel like talking about. Today, the bourbon is called Russell's Reserve. Now, Russell's is made by our friends at Wild Turkey, the Wild Turkey Distillery, and it's named after Jimmy Russell, who, I want to read this, Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame Master Distiller. The Russells hand-selected this bourbon as the perfect liquor. It's your turn. It's complex, but not complicated, from our family to yours. Now, how much better does it get than that?
Not much.
So before I pour, I want to introduce my guest and friend, longtime creative collaborator. He and I have worked together. His first time was on Homicide: Life on the Street, and then Oz, all the way up to City on a Hill, Monsieur Spade, and the Audible piece, Sugarland. So, ladies and gentlemen, my dear friend, Mr. Dean Winters.
Hey, Tom.
Hi, Dino.
Hi. So this is the second one.
This is the second one.
Who did the first one?
David Laundra.
Okay, that's all right. That's right.
Oh, you're going to get pissed that you weren't the first? Anyway, we are both smoking. I'm holding the cigar up. A cigar we call the El Dino. And we call it the El Dino because it actually has no name. It is created by our friends at the Decent Cigar Emporium in Dublin, Ireland.
Well, it's actually a Cuban cigar that was shipped to them without any labeling.
Right.
Right.
But now, if you go into the Decent Cigar Emporium in Dublin and ask for El Dino, they will know exactly what you're talking about.
You're welcome.
So, Dean, let me pour you some fabulous Russell's Reserve.
Pour yourself. I'm good.
What do you mean you're good? We're here to drink and talk about bourbon.
It's not my thing. I mean, I like it, but that's not for me.
Well, what would you rather drink?
You have a pina colada.
No, this isn't that kind of show.
Do you have writer's tears?
I have writer's tears. In fact,
That's one of my favorites.
well, it was exactly what David Laundra had last time. So, fuck you both, as my grandmother would say.
Great minds. Let's see what number 3 does next week. You grew up in a bar, right?
Yeah.
You move kind of slow.
I never actually worked in the bar, though back then.
Salute.
Salute. It's great to see you, Dino, and thank you for
my pleasure, man. Happy to be here.
Being a part of On the Rocks.
Happy to be here.
So, quick story. When I was a little boy and my older siblings would go off to school, I was too young to go to school, so I would go downstairs. We lived above my grandmother's bar, and I would go downstairs to the bar, and I would just sit there and talk to the old men who were having a beer and a shot, which is why I think I became a storyteller. But the other thing was that back then, bottles weren't recyclable, so you would put them in a bucket,
right? Clean it,
and you would crush the glass.
Oh,
so it was shards, and then that would get taken away. And when my grandmother would say, "Tommy, do you want to break the glass?" I was so excited.
You're happy.
Oh my God, because it was so destructive.
And the bar was called Fatima's, right?
Yes, Fatima's, and my production company is called Fatima's. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me have Katharine Hepburn's shawl.
Yes.
It makes me feel confident.
Yes, that is behind Dino is Katharine Hepburn's shawl. Yeah. It's a long story how I got it, which I won't go into now.
But you knew her, and that's dope.
I did.
Yep.
I did. Dean.
Tom.
Over the next 3 Sundays, we are going to have the Dean Winters Short Film Festival.
Oh, cool.
Now, one of the movies that we're going to show is Zoe,
Right.
which is reportedly a sequel to Oz, but
Illegally.
which we shot a couple of years ago during COVID.
Yeah.
With all the whole thing was shot with 2 cell phones
On the street, and it was 19 degrees.
Yeah, you play a character very similar to O'Reilly.
Yeah.
And Lee Tergesen plays
Yeah.
a character very similar to Beecher.
Yeah, I mean, do the math.
Do you want to talk a little about what it was like going back to a part you had played, 30 years before?
I've always dreamed about like what would happen if I revisited that character. But I was always curious, like, what would happen to the guy. And then when you gave us this 17-page treatment, this conversation with Lee and I, Lee's been out of jail for a month, and I just got out like that day, and I find him. He's the first person I call, and then it's just a walk and talk for 17 minutes.
Well, you're walking and talking. He's in a motel.
He's in a motel getting a foot rub.
And he's not getting a foot rub.
I'm outside getting frostbite. But I remember the first day we shot, we had to stop because my face was frozen and I couldn't talk, and so we came back the following Saturday and redid it. Even though it was so cold, but it was like my first day out of prison in 30 years, and I just remember like I kind of put that into my brain in getting into this long dialogue with Lee, and it's such a little cat and mouse thing because he and I, we had such a relationship in Oz, and that was really substantial, and so there was a lot of history between the two of us, and so the conversations that came up about his family, about my brother Cyril, basically started at 25th and 5th and just did a slow walk all the way down to Chelsea and ended up at a motel, which is 2 doors down from the Chelsea Hotel on the corner of 26th and 6th.
The funny thing about the motel was it was closed because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
There was nobody in there, and they were so grateful to make the pittance we were paying them to shoot in that motel room.
Yeah, and Lee's still working there, right? Yeah. No, I'm kidding. No, but it was really fun. I mean, a lot of things happened. I remember we were doing a scene on the corner, and all of a sudden you hear this commotion, and we look up like 3 stories, and there's a girl in a window in her underwear, and she's flashing us. And she's like, "Dean, it's me." And I'm like, "What?" And it turned out it was some girl that I knew from like nightlife like 10 years earlier. And she's flashing the entire crew. I'm like, all right, this is a good sign. Right? This is going to work.
Unfortunately, we didn't get that on camera.
Well, Christoph, he's still green.
All right, great. So we have Zoe. Talk about the other one of the other ones. So first, talk about the one that Larry Cohen directed.
So that was a short called The Worst. It was about a girl played by Britt Lauer,
who just won
the Emmy. She's famous now for Severance. So Britt plays a girl who is going through a bad breakup, and she loses her bag on the train, and she meets me. I'm a subway worker, and we basically track down her bag. She comes to my apartment, and we have a little flirtation, and then she sees that I have a daughter, and then it was a beautiful short film that we shot. It was like guerrilla film. There was like no permits, nothing. And we were shooting like, in East New York. It was kind of a rough neighborhood. And we shot on the subways, and we got busted by the subway for filming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I tried to talk my way out of it, and the guy's like, "I know who you are. It doesn't fucking matter." I was like, well, come on.
Wow,
man.
he was a New Yorker.
Yeah. It was a beautiful short film, and I think you could probably see it. Well,
we're going to show it on. We're going to show it on Tom Fontana Presents,
and then
as part of the Dean Winters Short Film Festival.
And then because of that, a couple of years later, I got approached by this woman named Victoria Kean Cohen, who was a model that I kind of was helped grooming to be a stunt woman. So I had put her through all the motions and got her into Muay Thai, car school, and then I sent her to California to work on horses. So I sent her out there, and while she was there, she wrote this short film called A Civilized Life. And she called me up and she goes, look, she goes, I want you to play, one of the cowboys. And I said, I'll do it if you let me produce it, because I never produced before. And so I go, if you let me produce it, let me cast it, because it was the three-hander. It was myself and then two women. So I hired Britt Lauer again from The Worst, and then Tanya Fisher, who I had worked on Life on Mars with, and she was the lead singer of a punk band called the Bambi Killers.
Oh yeah.
And they nailed it. Tanya won Best Actress at the Hollywood Film Festival, which is the biggest short film festival in the world, and we won Best Picture.
Oh, very good. You've been acting now a good number of years.
Yeah.
And yet you'd never produced before.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how that was. You were acting in the film you were producing.
Yeah. Well, it was,
and the difference.
Yeah.
And did you enjoy producing?
Yeah, I did. I was good at it. I felt, my producing partner was Lawrence Bender, who was Quentin Tarantino's partner. But Lawrence, great guy. He gave notes from afar. Like it was, I had to make some very serious decisions as far as, like the first day, our AD calls us at 6 a.m, and his mom died that night.
Oh, geez.
So we didn't have an AD. So we scrambled and we got an AD. I called my friend Sean Graham, who is one of the biggest stunt coordinators in Hollywood, and he came and he stunted the short film for free for us.
Oh, wow.
We shot on the Disney Ranch, and it was unbelievable. It's called A Civilized Life. It's one of my favorite things I've ever done, because
excluding the stuff we did together.
Well, yeah, you're a close second.
Oh,
but no, come on, stop. You're number one, Tom. You're the private jet. Get it? Right? Enough said. Back then in the 1860s, there were advertisements that would go to the East Coast where cowboys were looking for wives to come, live on the homestead with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were basically mail order brides, and then they got sent out to Utah, and they meet up with these two cowboys. I played one of them, and then Gregory Peck's grandson Ethan played one of the cowboys. And
you said it was a three-hander.
Well, yeah, no, but he gets shot right away. He never speaks. Spoiler. But so Ethan did it as a favor because he knew Victoria, and that was really cool of him.
I was a huge fan of his father.
You can't get it. Yeah, you can't get away from the Peck name. That's like anyone who knows anything about Hollywood has to revere that name. Anyway, so he and I are working on the range. He comes home early and gets into a squabble with his wife, and she kills him. Right. So they drag him into the brush, and then I come home late, and I'm in a bad mood, and I'm drunk, and I'm like, where is he? Yeah, we haven't seen him, and then things get real ugly between Britt Lauer and I, and that was a really hard thing to shoot. I've never done that before. I did it once on Oz, where I had to get rough with a woman, and then I did it on this one, and it's something I don't like to do, but Britt was a sport. Anyway, watch it, Civilized Life.
So we're gonna show Zoe. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure the order yet. We're gonna post Zoe, and then the next week
Worst,
and then the next week
Civilized Life,
or in a different order. We haven't figured that out yet. Yeah. You and I have to talk about what the best.
I think that's a good lineup right there.
You did the movie with that Spike directed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just did Highest to Lowest, directed by Spike Lee. Spike Lee.
And there was an unknown in the lead. What was
that?
His name? An unknown guy, Dean Zell.
Oh yeah. This guy, he's a real up and comer. Denzel Washington, and then Jeffrey Wright,
who's always great,
and then Ilfin Shadera. Like it was a rock star cast. Wendell Pierce and it's one in that one, and just to work with Spike Lee was a real pleasure. It was like a dream come true. And I met Spike at a block party the year before that in Brooklyn, and we just got along like kids in a sandbox. And then 8 months later, he FaceTimed me and offered me this role in this movie. And then I spent 2.5 months in Tribeca, Brooklyn, and then the Bronx shooting this movie. And it was just like, it was like a time of my life to be in New York in my backyard with all these superstars, and it was like a real, like a very humbling moment. So
Yeah.
yeah,
He and I worked together.
on money.
On money, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's a big fan of yours. I remember the first day we were working, I was like, Tom Fontana says hi. He goes, "Does he still live in that library?" I was like, "Oh yeah." He never leaves, Spike.
What else? What else is going on? How's the family?
The family's good. Yeah. Never a dull moment in the Winters family. You know, we have lawyers on retainer. So never ever, everyone's good. Can I plug another movie that I did?
Yeah, sure.
So like I did a show called Wayne, which is on Amazon Prime now. I think you can find it. And it's one of my favorite shows of all time, next to yours. And the director Sean Simmons called me in March. He goes, yeah, I'm doing this movie in Cleveland called Eeny Meeny with Andy Garcia and Samara Weaving, and it's about a female getaway driver. There's no CGI; it's all muscle cars. And he goes, I wrote a character for you. The character's name is Piece of Shit, and you're an unhinged car dealership owner, and it's a 1-page 30-second scene. He goes, if you come to Cleveland, I'll take care of you. I was like, just when and where, you know, because I'll do anything for that guy. He's like,
well, I've seen the film.
Oh, you saw it?
Yes, I told you I saw it.
All right. I like to hear it again.
No, I loved it. I thought it was intense and surprising. It has a lot of great twists and turns.
Oh my God, yeah.
And your cameo or whatever you want to call it. I mean, literally for like whatever it is, a minute, 2 minutes, whatever.
No, like 45 seconds.
It's like your head spins watching Dean in this scene.
Yeah, that was what we were looking for.
Yeah, but but the film is really wonderfully surprising.
It's got a lot of heart. It's got a lot of heart. I remember watching
a lot of heart.
I remember watching it, and when I watched it, I had forgotten a lot of it because I'd read the whole script, even though I was only in one page. I always read the script, and I forgot what was happening towards the end. And when it happened, I got so emotional. I was like, what just happened?
How long ago did you shoot that?
March.
Yeah. So that's the last thing you've done.
I did a day on SVU in June. It's been kind of quiet lately.
Talk about you and SVU, because your history with the show. First, I want to say one thing. Dick Wolf and I have known each other since he was a writer on Hill Street Blues and I was a writer on St. Elsewhere. So we're talking 40 years or more. And we were doing Oz, and he would come to me and he'd say, I'm doing a show, you know, can I have Dean and can I have Chris Maloney and B.D. Wong? And I mean, and
he basically stole your whole cast.
He basically kept stealing the cast.
Yeah.
But he said to me, he goes, Tom, look, with you, they make art. With me, they make money. And I said, well, I can't deny that. So
yeah. No, I got the job because I was very close with Richard Belzer, and I had met Belzer on the train going down to Baltimore to do Homicide, and I met him. He was with his wife Harley, and so we spent 3 hours on the train, and we just became like brothers on that train ride. And then a couple of years later, he called me. He goes, hey baby, how you doing? I'm good. He goes, look, I'm doing this new show with Dick Wolf. It's called SVU, and he goes, I have a partner, but my contract says that I can't do it unless Dick Wolf hires you as my partner. And I was like, what? So he hired, so I got hired, and it was great. I did the first half of the first season, and then I had a great time, great writing, great director, everything. But I had to leave because I had a contractual thing with Oz, and
we were starting to shoot.
Yeah, when I was a regular on Oz, and I at that time I'd been bumped up to a regular, and then I went back like 6 years later, and then I did an episode or two here or there for like 5 or 6 years, and then I didn't go back for a long time, and then I went back in June to shoot Dan Fogler's funeral scene, Captain Craig, and so But it was always I always got along famously with Mariska. She's a really special person, and and obviously Chris, who I had known from Oz, and then and Belzer. It was just like the really I can't. What was it? 27 years now?
Is it really?
I think it's 27 years. Yeah. Right now, it's we're getting into the dead zone for an actor, which is between Thanksgiving and the Oscars. It's
yeah.
just like it's you got to really just kind of buckle in and just kind of enjoy some time off.
The thing about Hollywood that has always frustrated and confused me is that from the week before Thanksgiving to the week after New Year's, there's nobody in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then there's Cannes, and then there's Sundance, and then there's what else?
Well, there's the Cannes in May, but there's the Globes, there's Sundance, Screen Actors Guild Awards, this thing, that thing, and then the Oscars. And it's just like, that's the thing about the business. It's like, I mean, I look around here, you have what, 3 Emmys? You should have 4, but you'll work on that, right? But, it's such a self-congratulatory business. Like, there's no other business in the world that shuts down for 4 months to pat each other on the back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And listen, if I got invited, I would, of course I'd be the first one there, but like, it is a weird setup where everyone just kind of shuts down, and then you just have all these people running to these functions in tuxedos to love each other and say how great the crew was and everything. It's just like, all right, okay.
Yeah. I truly think they work less days than the members of Congress.
I think I'm at the age where no one's going to replace me with a robot, which is good. So I'm just gonna ride off into the dusty sunset and try to get a few jobs here or there. What do you got?
All right. Well, Dean, this was great.
Thank you, Tom.
And just to remind everybody, we're going to do the Dean Winter Short Film Festival over the next 3 Sundays on Tom Fontana Presents on Substack.
We'll be in San Tropez.
All right. One last toast. Here is to our dear friend,
Linda Laundra. And what we do, we pour it out. It's a little bit.
On my floor?
Yeah, just a little bit. I'll clean it up. Come on, you got to do it. No, just come on. There we go. All right. Linda Laundra. I got you.
Linda would never want to waste alcohol.
No, it's a thing that people do, Tom, okay? You grew up in a bar. Whenever someone passes, you pour it out on the floor, period.
In Buffalo,
it freezes before it hits the floor.
All right. L'chaim.
You going to have me back?
Not a chance.